Hi, welcome to Establish a Home with Shannon Hosfield. With any goal that you have, it's important to establish what you want and why you want it, and then that tends to naturally shape the how, right? Of like how you're going to achieve what you want. But you first have to establish that what and why. As parents, a lot of times I think we jump to the how a little too quickly. I'm certainly guilty of that. And so I was thinking about what I really wanted. And I was reading in this little parenting book that's really cute, and it asked this question: what do we as parents most want our children to be? Successful, smart, good, or happy? And so when I read that, I didn't want the book to give me the answer. So I read that and I was like, successful, right? That's totally where I jumped. I hope I'm not the only one that thought that first, but I wanted to take you through my thought process on how I arrived at what, for me, I most want my children to be. And so when I read that, what do I most want my children to be? Successful, smart, good, happy. I jumped to successful. And I was excited about that. Like, yeah, that would make me a proud parent if I had all these successful kids. And I was thinking about it a little bit more, like, is that really what I want most? Is there a downside to that being my number one thing? And I thought about it, I was like, well, what if they're successful, but they're selfish, or they're not really aware of other people's problems and struggles? I'll explore the other ones just in case successful isn't necessarily my number one. So the next one's smart. I would love to have smart children, right? Like, watch out, Ivy League schools. Here comes the Hosfields, little doctors and lawyers, and that would be so great. And that really would be great, wouldn't it? And but I love history, and I've learned from studying history that there have been some really smart people that have done really horrible things. And so as much as it can be a good thing to be smart, I'm not sure it's like my number one thing. Like, yes, I want smart children. I just don't know if that's what I want most for my children. Does that make sense? And so in looking at the list, happy's on there. I saw a great TED Talk about being happy and raising our kids to be happy. So I was like, oh, that's the one. I just want my kids to be happy. And there's like some peace and just kind of, like, find some happiness in who you are and love in life, and happy is a great thing to be. And I was like, all right, is that what I want most for my children to be? And as I thought about that, I thought of situations when it's hard to do the right thing because you could lose friends, or you could, there's actually negative consequences sometimes to doing the right thing, and it can be hard. And that's when it finally hit me, when I didn't even notice the word good in that list. Did you? I hope you did. The original list was, do I want my kids to be successful, smart, good, or happy? And I finally even noticed the word good. And I was like, well, really, in all of those things, if I have children that I've raised to be good people, then if they find success in their life, they will be watching the people around them and wanting to give to others and using that success for good. And if my children are smart, I hope that they are healers and innovators and problem solvers, and that they use that goodness and with their intelligence to offer that goodness to the world through that intelligence that they have. And I hope that happiness that they have in their life comes naturally through the peace that they find through doing the right thing and serving and caring about others. And I think they'll find that happiness as they live their life being good. And another benefit that I loved about, like, making goodness the number one thing I wanted, if that's what I want my children to be, that's the most important thing to me, is that I want my children to be good. The benefit of that is that I can do that today. My children and I can work on being good today and tomorrow and each day of their lives. It's not like this far-reaching goal that maybe someday we'll achieve success, whatever that may be to you. But goodness is something I can work on with my children today, and we can celebrate their goodness today and tomorrow. And I loved that. If my number one thing, my what of my goal, what do I really hope my children will become when they're older? I love it being good. And not only do I hope that they will be good each day, but I hope that with whatever comes to them in their life, that they will do as much good as they can. Thanks for watching.